Hi everyone, this is Bonnie Power and I'm going to tell you how to clinch massive interest in the first 5 minutes of a telephone interview. We're going to be learning how to use your voice to build instant rapport with the person who gives you a call with the intention of getting you in for a job interview if you fit the bill. How to hook in on the caller's interest in you. There's 5 questions that you'll be asked by them, and there's 3 questions that you're going to ask them in return. And I'm going to talk to you about my secret strategy that gets me a job interview, face-to-face job interview 90% of the time. So the big thing is to match your pitch and your volume and your rate with whatever the caller is. So it's like mirror image. You've heard of mirroring the body language when you're in the face-to-face interview. This is talking at the same rate and the same style as they do. So usually they'll speak really, really quickly because they've got to interview. They need to find 3 people to bring in for interview. They've got 20 people to ring, so they're talking really quickly. They want short, sharp answers, and that's what you've got to give them. How to hook in on the caller's interest in you. So they are interested in you. You got into the short list of people who look good on paper. The purpose of the telephone interview is to see what your communication skills are like, to see how you sound over the phone. So your biggest goal is to entice them in, to invite you in for that face-to-face. The strategy that you'll use is to basically provide further information that you've outlined in your resume, because your resume worked, and give them the idea that there's a lot more that you can offer, a lot more to talk about. So an interview face-to-face is a no-brainer option. The 5 questions that you're probably going to get asked, and probably in some sort of order like this, is tell me a little bit about yourself. Why do you apply for? Why did you want to apply for this particular role? Why do you believe you're the best person for the position? What's your availability like? Can you start straight away? And what are your expectations around remuneration? If you're not sure on how you're going to answer any of these questions, then get onto the Melbourne Resumes website. We've got loads of information on how to answer these questions. They're the same questions that'll be asked when they see you face to face as well. So you need to have a really polished answer and really believe in what you're about to say, like say it with conviction and say it concisely. While you're out and about, you'll need to be prepared for those telephone interview calls. So this is a list of things that will make your life a lot more easier to manage the job search. So you obviously pen, notepad, your diary so you can book in interview times, all of the job ads that you've applied for, and the resumes and the cover letters that you sent, because every job that you sent to, you probably will tweak the cover letter and the resume to highlight the most relevant things that they know that they'll be interested to know about. So make sure that you say whatever you said in the resume so that you're consistent. There might be a few other things that you have done achievement-wise that you didn't have in your resume. So make a mention in your notes that you could mention those things just to add a little bit of extra interest when they speak to you. Your research, like sometimes, thankfully some companies actually advertise directly. They don't use agencies, so you can really start to research the companies, find out what their challenges are, where they're going, what their products are like, and you can sort of like highlight or comment on some of the things that you found out in the conversation, and they will love that. That is a huge way to clinch massive interest. So and then you're going to have 3 or 4 questions about the actual position, just to make sure that it is a role that you'd be interested to apply for. The 3 questions that I always ask in an interview is, in a phone interview, is like just to get them talking and get to sort of know a little bit more about the role. You can say, so what are you seeking in the ideal candidate? And they might say something extra to what's actually in the job advertisement, but it could be an expanded version of what is in the job ad. Hopefully that they will give that. And sometimes by the time they put the job ad in, which might have been a week ago or even 3 weeks ago, the job role might have changed a bit. So it's always a good idea to ask this second question: has the brief of what they want changed since you put that job advertisement up? Are there any other skills or competencies that they're also interested in? It's a good question. You never know how they're going to answer that. Now this is the other one that I always ask. Can you please give me a breakdown of a typical day? So for example, the job ad highlighted 7 things of a typical day, 7 responsibilities. You might like to ask, out of those 7 responsibilities, what proportion of the day you're going to be doing each of them approximately. Sometimes you might find some jobs you'll do 90% of the first 2 or 3 job responsibilities that they've highlighted, and you'll be rarely doing the last 4, and you might really be interested in the role because of what they said in those last 4 responsibilities might be what you're really wanting in the next job. So that's to get a really good idea of what the job offers, because you want variety, you want challenge, you want to know exactly what you're walking into. So the 7 steps for a winning performance are these. These are the first 3. Confirm the person's name. So whenever they ring, they're going to introduce themselves. Write down their name on the piece of paper and use it through the call. Not too many times, but just 2 or 3 times builds a huge rapport. Take notes while they're writing. You'll find that they will repeat 2 or 3 things that you know obviously are the most important things for them. So you can also use that to get to know about what's important in the role, so that when you get into the job interview, you can make sure that you emphasize on those points. Pace the call. Don't interrupt the caller. Let them just talk. They've got a sense of urgency. They've got to get through all of those calls, so respect that. And they will respect you because they can see that you appreciate their time. With the notes that you've taken down, the most important points that they seem to keep reiterating, it's great to paraphrase those points back so that you can tell the caller, yep, I am listening, I hear what you're saying, these are the key points. It works really, really well. Repeating questions, if you're not sure why they're asking that or what they mean, what they want to know, repeat the question and just ask them, if you're not sure, to clarify or to rephrase the question. Just, I'm not too sure I understand what you're asking. That's a good thing to, if you want clarity, or if you just want to buy time, you're not too sure on how you're going to answer it, it'll buy you a couple of seconds. The biggest thing on telephone interviews and face-to-face interviews is that you really have to think on your feet, so it's a good skill to practice. Offering interview times is what got me the job in 90% of the time. So you could explain to say, oh, I'm actually going to be in the city next Wednesday and Thursday. Would you like me to come in for 15 minutes just to say hello, and so you can put a face to the name? At all, I don't mind coming in. And you'll pretty much know on the way that they answer that question if they are interested in you or not. Now, overall, these are 3 best things when you're on the phone that help portray such a confident telephone manner. Smile, so have a happy and relaxed, confident manner. Make sure you're in a positive frame of mind, and it'll really come through in your voice. By standing up instead of sort of sitting down, you'll have a better airflow, so you'll speak clearer. And if you've got distractions, like if you're sitting in front of your computer, you might get distracted with an email coming in or something popping up on your computer screen. So don't even look at your computer when you're on the phone. Look outside, look out the window, and don't get distracted by anything that's happening inside. Saying it succinctly and clearly is really important when you're on the phone. So this is where it pays dividends to practice answering those commonly asked interview questions. So saying it clearly, not everyone can say and a couple of times, but sometimes there's a few people who say it a lot, and it becomes overwhelmingly obvious that they're not too sure on what they're going to say. So those are the 3 things I want to leave you with. Go back and have a look at those 7 points. I had to quickly get this information out to you because content is the most important thing, and it's important that I put it out there so you can learn it, so you can advance to the next stage of the interview process. Good luck, and if you've got any further questions, please drop me a line or jump onto the website. Give us a call if you're in Australia, and we'll see if we can how we can help you even further. Thanks for your time. This is Bonnie Power, and I will speak to you in the next session. Thank you.